another segment of Rachna's Wellness. Today I am going to actually show you a bunch of different things. Everything on the table here is 100 calories. In fact, precisely exactly 100 calories. I measured it, weighed it, and I wanted to kind of show you the difference, what different 100 calorie foods look like. So I'll kind of go around and try to keep it simple. So I have dates here. They're just about medium-sized dates. They're not the big ones, they're not the really small ones. Exactly 500 calories. So that's the first thing. And wanted to talk about raisins. Just about, if I would count them in fact precisely, maybe about 20 to 23 raisins. A small fistful, 100 calories. In fact, I wanted to show you, let me move around and show you grapes. That's about 13 big, huge grapes, 100 calories. So, versus just a fistful of raisins, 100 calories. Wanted to show you the difference. Peanuts, just about this much. In fact, not about, I should probably not say about, they're exactly measured in a martini glass. They're about 3/4 full, so that you know what 100 calories are. And they're probably going to be a little bit bigger than a fistful, so about a fistful and a half. So that's 100 calories of peanuts right here. Let's go talk about chips, potato chips. I have hardly, maybe not even 9 or 10 potato chips. That's exactly 100 calories. So again, a martini glass, I wanted to keep it simple so you could compare everything in a martini glass, and that's the reason I want to take similar glasses. But again, that's exactly 100 calories of potato chips right there. A glass of milk, again, just to keep it similar, not that we're going to drink milk in a martini glass, but you know, so that's 100 calories of milk. This is 2% fat milk that I'm using right now and showing you, so that's exactly 100 calories of milk. Again, a little bit lower than the brim, and that's 100 calories. Breakfast, a lot of people have oats, so these are steel cut oats. It's, you know, if you see the bottom of it, it's just glass, so it's pretty much this much. So just a fistful, these are steel cut oats. Steel cut oats, fistful is 100 calories. Again, if you cook them, they're probably going to be about, normally they double or maybe about 2.5 to 3 times approximately based on what liquid you're using. But raw, uncooked steel cut oats, about a fistful, exactly this much to show you 100 calories. Rice, everyone's favorite. Just a little bit more than a glass of full, 100 calories of white rice. 100 calories of white rice right there, that's 100 calories, okay? Let me show you, this is apple juice. A glass right here, half a full, just about 100 calories of apple juice. And I also wanted to compare you what apples would be. So I have apples here. So these are medium-sized apples, 2 of them, 100 calories. So 2 apples, 100 calories, and versus this glass of juice, again 100 calories. I know a lot of people end up drinking way more than this, and a lot of people won't have 2 apples at a time, or maybe just 1 at a time. But then that's when I always say is, you know, don't consume juices too much, because you always end up eating or drinking, consuming more calories. So that's that. I'll get to this good section in just a second. This is like a wrap, could be like a roti or a tortilla, but this is exactly 100 calories. This is a slice of bread, 100 calories, okay? This small, teeny weeny brownie, it's not even a bite size. It's not even a bite size, you know, I would probably eat 2 in a bite if I would, because they're yummy, but 100 calories. If you see the thickness of it, it's pretty much none. This small, little, teeny weeny bite of in fact, they're called bite-sized brownies, is 100 calories. A tablespoon of peanut butter to the brim is exactly 100 calories. I know a lot of people ask me about chocolate, how much chocolate can I eat? This is 86% cacao, dark chocolate, about a piece and a half, 100 calories. Okay, so fine, you know, as long as you're controlling the calories. But again, just to mention, this is dark chocolate, 86% cacao in it. I have 2 chocolates, I had Rocher, I'm showing you. So 2 of them, 100 calories. Chicken, I wanted to kind of introduce you to the calories and the meat. Also, this is a small piece of chicken. Probably when you make a curry or something, or like a kebab or curry or something, I would probably say if you're making like inch pieces, about 2.5 to 3 pieces would come out of this small piece, and that's exactly 100 calories, okay? We've talked about apples, 100 calories, so I wanted to go in that circle. And 1 banana, 100 calories. So now see the difference. See the difference. You know, these many potato chips, I'm going to go back and explain you. Just about 7 or 8 hardly potato chips, 100 calories. A banana, 100 calories. I'll move to the good section very soon. All these strawberries, all these fresh strawberries are about 14, let me label, yes, 15 strawberries. All of in this big huge cup are exactly 100 calories, okay? All of these popcorn, they're very lightly buttered, very lightly salted with Himalayan salt. So these are exactly 100 calories. All of these popcorn in this bowl. So if you see, that's the bowl and it's about this much full. Quite a bit, 100 calories. All of these snow peas, the whole bowl is exactly 100 calories. Exactly 100 calories, the whole bowl. And they taste amazing. They're a perfect snack, so try to introduce them as much as you can to your diet. They're amazing. The whole bowl is 100 calories. Amazing. So look at this. I mean, it's interesting to show you. This versus this. Same calories, 100 and 100. I don't know why. I mean, that's how nature is. But this whole, I didn't even bother to take it out. This whole package of salad is 100 calories. Because it says 20 calories in a serving, there are 5 calories in this box, and so this whole package, it's a fresh herb salad mix that you'll use for some kind of a salad, and this whole thing of it is 100 calories. Just a small suggestion for you: if you're making an omelette, something, 1 complete egg, 1 whole egg, half of this pretty much. The whole breakfast, and with maybe a good whole grain slice of toast, is the whole breakfast would be 200 calories. So 1 egg, half of this, it's a lot of salad. If you add, I'm just trying to compare and show you calories. Slice of bread is a whole breakfast, 200 calories. So if you see the difference, that's how 100 calories compare. So again, recap, careful of the dates. I know dates are high in calories, but still they're good for you. High in potassium, they're high in a lot of mineral content. But 5 dates, 100 calories. Fistful of raisins, 100 calories. About a fistful and a half of peanuts, 100 calories. 13 bigger size green grapes, seedless, 100 calories. 6 or 7 potato chips, 100 calories. A glass of milk, 100 calories. Fistful of uncooked steel cut oats, 100 calories. Just this much rice, seriously. I mean, I know rice is heavenly, but be careful of the calories. Especially all the desi food that we eat, we always end up eating way more calories because this much is not going to fill anyone up. So fill yourself with a lot of vegetables. So again, the key what I wanted to discuss about today, so make sure that you're using a lot of vegetables, fresh vegetables as fillers, because this is a lot of nutrient dense food, and this is a lot of food that's going to fill you up. And again, yes, you can add flavors. You don't have to eat them raw if you don't like them raw. You can saute them with a little bit garlic, some extra virgin olive oil, some avocado oil, salt, pepper, perfectly fine. Do not have to eat them raw. So everything on the table is 100 calories. That's pretty much my segment for today. If you like my segment, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to Rachna as well, and join me again in one of my other segments.